fishing, subscribe on his channel, and go on the Peeler and watch his channel. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. We do a video. Subscribe on the channel.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to Guy with the GoPro Fishing Show, and this will be episode 133. If I could only have one size Whopper Plopper. Excuse me, pardon me. So the other day before work, if you've seen any of the past episodes that are recent, we've been getting a ton of rain, so I knew the flood control ponds would be, there'd be a lot of current, and it would be that Italian dressing factor to where there's like a clearer level of runoff on the top where the bottom is more murky. And my intention was to go down there and throw some soft plastic toads, just straight retrieve stuff, but they weren't into it. So as the clock was ticking and I only had, so much time left before I had to pack it up and go to work, I tied on a Whopper Plopper, and you will find out soon what size I'm talking about. Also, I'm experimenting with one of my setups and using just straight mono. It's 20-pound mono. It's got that blue, like, old school Stren fluorescent blue looking color in the light, but I really don't let it on the surface that much anyway. Even though the water's muddy, when I'm fishing topwater, I keep my rod tip up anyway, because a lot of the bites come up from, underneath the bait, and then they go to swim down with it, so it's just easy to set the hook that way if you got your rod tip up. But getting back to that, I tied on one of my favorite ploppers and went to work in the short time that was allotted, so check it out. Alright guys, so before we get to the footage, I want to show you something here. So right here is a Whopper Ploppers 110. It's got the most flanged out prop of the one side of the sizes that I throw. I throw the 90s, which is more of a straight up prop. Here's the Berkeley Chapo with the prop turned in, and then my favorite, which I will reveal now, is the 75. And just like the 90, the prop is similar, although the blade is fatter, obviously, because these 90s and 110s are more of a longer minnow style bait fish, to where a 75 has not only like a shad profile, but also like a bluegill, crappie, or panfish profile. And it's all, to me, yeah, all these different tuned props have a different frequency underwater, but the magical thing about the Whopper Ploppers 75 is the profile. It's the way it sits in the water. It's the way it looks to the bass when they're underneath it, tracking it, and obviously whatever that fatter blade, the type of frequency it's giving off as as it's going by over their heads, if they let it. And I keep it real simple. I throw either the powder white, or I'll throw the sexy shad, which is called I Know It, which I need to replace in the 75 because I lost mine. And then I throw the black one, which is called Loon. The black one wouldn't really show up well on a black mat. I got it right here. So that's the one called Loon. I throw this one more in clear water. I throw this one more in stained water. So But if River to Sea ever came to me and said, hey, you can only throw one size, this would be it by far. And depending on what rod I got it on, I will throw braid to leader, but I'm finding with a stout rod and just straight mono that with the mono being spongy, it allows them to get the bait a lot better than even going braid to leader. I can cast just as far, you know. Fish can be spooky, they can be weird about braid even when they're at their peak metabolism in the late summer, early fall. And you know, I just like staying off of them, and I like catching fish. So whatever I can do, whatever adjustments I got to make to do that, I'm gonna do that. So, but the 75 by far is my favorite. It is a fish catching machine. Now in the footage, the bass aren't that big, but it's just the fact that I had thrown a couple different toads, like displacing a lot of water, you know. Went from white to black, made a few switches before I decided to tie that on because I was running out of time, without any luck. And then next thing you know, I catch a couple. So that bait will always be very special to me. And like I said, if I can only throw one, it would be the 75, without a doubt. So check out the footage. So I switched to the 75 because I don't got a lot of time. I don't want to catch some fish. Hey, dude! Hey, dude! Playing along, huh? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You little swiping and swiper guy, you. Alright, man. Treble hooks, buddy. Treble hooks. Treble hooks, man. Thank you, little buddy. Thank you, man. Yep. What you been eating this morning, huh? All right, my friend. Thank you. Yeah. 20-pound mono. Even though it wouldn't matter in this stained water, but I kind of like the whole the whole feel of that, because that fish obviously wasn't fully committed and you probably couldn't see the bait all that well. My theory on why these 75s are such a freaking producer compared to the rest of the line is the profile. That is a more shad or bluegill panfish profile than it is a long minnow type fish. And obviously the frequency of the prop. Number 2, a number 2 on the new retrieve number 2. I'm gonna call that the West Virginia stroke because I seen that a guy doing that last season, and I was like, huh, I never fished my Whopper Ploppers like that. Maybe I should try that. And look, it sure got us one, right? He came out and just smoked it. All right, buddy, you're gonna be a little challenged to get unhooked because you're squirrely. I see that. So if this guy would let me help him out, see what I did is I used both pliers and kind of kept trading on and off tools because I just got a hook in the hand, and this isn't the biggest fish, but he's feisty. We got to give him credit for that. He's a good hunter. He will do well back here. Ready to go? I like when they bite my thumb. I think it's funny. So I just kept, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but like trading on and off the pliers to the long ones to the short ones, so I can make the right turns to get him unhooked, because he had one under the gill plate and then 2 of the front hook barbs like keeping his mouth shut. So props to the guy that I saw doing that successfully and forgot about it. The old West Virginia stroke for when they're not wanting to run something down all the way. You know, he probably came right out from the bank and smoked this thing. Well, folks, at least we got on some largemouth, and at least we got on some topwater largemouth. So the 75 strikes back. Obviously not gonna be fishing that for a while. I mean, it's just, when it's the visibilities like this, it's really hard to fish this river, man. And there's so much current right now because all the flooding in this region of the country. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't, leave me some comments down below. Let me know what your favorite Whopper Plopper size and color is, and just what topwater you've been getting them on the most this summer. So this is Guy with the GoPro Fishing Show, out for now, but just for now. Peace out, people.